What's up everyone? Today we're going to talk about the bottom position of a bench press. Let's get started.
When the bar hits your chest, this is one of the major points during a bench that everything could get a little messed up. Everyone's position is going to look slightly different, but there's a couple factors that we always would like to see.
So the first thing we're going to look at is your wrist and elbow position when the bar is on your chest.
We would like to see your wrists relatively straight with the bar resting over your wrist joint and the meaty part of your palm.
Your elbows should be slightly in front of the bar when you hit the bottom.
The motion of the bar during a bench press is not a straight line. It's an arcing motion from over your shoulder joint at the top to somewhere around mid-chest at the bottom to back over your shoulder joint.
I want your elbows slightly in front of the bar, so off of your chest the bar goes straight up and back towards your starting position.
If your elbows are behind the bar, when you start to push, the bar will shoot away from you and you'll have to use a lot of unnecessary energy to pull it back.
How wide or narrow you grip the bar can also affect where the bar should hit on your chest. In general, the narrower your hands are, the lower on your chest you're going to hit to get your elbows slightly in front of the bar.
So the wider you grip the bar, the higher on your chest you should hit.
But this can change person to person and is just in general how it seems to play out.
You need to find a spot in your chest that feels strong and allows your elbows and wrists to be in a good position and consistently hit that same spot every rep.
I see this happen all the time. One rep you hit your chest here, the next rep you hit your chest there, and it's a new spot or position every time you do a rep.
So get the empty bar, set up in your position and bring the bar down to your chest. Now move the bar around until you find the right spot. Then aim to hit that same spot every rep.
An easy way to feel the movement and make sure you're hitting those positions you want to hit is just to start with some tempo reps.
So start slow, then slowly get back up to your regular speed and add weight as it's starting to feel more natural.
Some call the arch in a bench press the gateway to the Wilks.
Holding an arch in your back and not letting it flatten throughout the whole repetition is really important, but the bottom position is where we see the benefits of it.
We can see a lot of mechanical advantages when we compare a bench press with a flat back versus an arched back.
The main joint that is the axis of rotation during a bench press is your shoulders. So the further away the bar is from your shoulder joint at the bottom, the larger the moment force is and creates a larger moment arm. A moment arm is the distance the weight is from the axis of rotation, and any moment arm makes the lift harder than it would be if we decrease it or get rid of it. But if we brought a heavy bench press down straight under your shoulders, it wouldn't really work out that well. And you already found a strong bottom position at your chest that works well for you. If we look at hitting the bar at the same spot on your chest with a flat back versus an arch, you can see a clear difference with the distance the bar is from your shoulders.
That will decrease the extra moment force that you would have had to overcome, making the lift mechanically easier. So we talked about the importance of an arch and holding it throughout the whole bench press. But let's talk about a cue I like to use to help with that. Anytime we're lifting a heavy weight, we want to use the Valsalva maneuver. The what maneuver? The Valsalva maneuver. Take a big breath before you start lifting and then hold it throughout the whole lift. Oh, Valsalva maneuver. It helps build intra-abdominal pressure, which keeps tension throughout your whole body and even makes your lifts feel easier.
So a lot of people only think it's important for the squat and deadlift, but it can make a huge difference in someone's bench press too. So you're set up in your bench press position. Your shoulders are pinched, feet are set with your heels driving into the ground. Now comes the time where you take a huge breath in and start the rep.
But here's my cue. Along with getting a huge breath in, think about tightening your arch.
I'll go through a period of time where instead of focusing on moving the bar, I'll shift all of my focus into tightening the arch in my back and keeping that tension throughout each bench press.
We've talked about your hands and shoulders. We've talked about your back position. There's only one more body part we need to talk about. Let's talk about leg drive. Anytime you're setting up for a bench press, one of the steps needs to be locking your feet into place.
We always recommend our athletes to walk their feet back as far as possible until your heels are about an inch off of the ground.
You should feel a nice little stretch in your quads.
Then push your heels into the ground. This is going to be the position you hold throughout your set. Not only does this foot position help with your arch, but it also puts you in a strong position that keeps tension throughout your whole body.
So we're in position, but how do you leg drive?
Start by driving your heels hard into the ground. Think about pushing them straight down and slightly forward, like you're trying to drag your foot on the ground away from you.
But remember, your feet are glued to that original spot, so we're not actually moving them or pushing them across the ground away from you.
If you're starting to use leg drive but your butt comes off of the bench, you're probably pushing too hard. We want to create tension from your legs that we can transfer into the bar, but not do a hip thrust.